The Galactic Council's emergency session erupted into chaos as the holographic display at the center of the chamber revealed humanity's newest creation. The massive vessel designated *HS Nemesis*, hung in the void like a predator among prey, its obsidian hull absorbing nearby starlight rather than reflecting it. "Impossible," muttered Ambassador Krell, his blue-scaled skin paling. Their technological advancement was projected to take at least another century. Admiral Voss, the Council's military advisor, studied the projection with narrowed eyes. Evidently, our assessments were flawed. When humans had first emerged onto the galactic stage 50 years prior, they had been dismissed as primitive curiosities. Their ships were bulky, inefficient, and lacked the refined elegance of those built by the older species. Their weapons were crude, their shields basic. The Council had relegated them to the Outer Rim territories, assuming they would remain an inconsequential footnote in galactic politics. They were wrong. Captain James Miller stood on the command deck of the *HS Nemesis*, Earth's first Titan-class battleship. At his fingertips rested more firepower than the combined fleets of the three largest Council races. Behind him, a crew of 500 of humanity's finest operated in practiced silence, each movement precise and deliberate. "Status report," Miller ordered, his voice carrying the weight of Earth's collective determination. "All systems nominal, Captain," replied Lieutenant Thomas from the operations console. "Shields at maximum capacity, weapons primed and ready." Miller nodded, satisfaction barely visible beneath his stoic expression. The *Nemesis* represented humanity's response to years of mistreatment, exploitation, and condescension from the established galactic powers. They had been patient, learning, adapting, and building in secret while outwardly playing the role of the compliant newcomers. "Begin transmission to Council headquarters," Miller said. "It's time they understood who they've been dealing with." The Council members watched in tense silence as the human captain's face filled their display. Unlike the apologetic, deferential human representatives they were accustomed to, this man's eyes held cold resolve. "Distinguished members of the Galactic Council," Miller began, his tone formal yet laced with unmistakable warning. "For 50 years, humanity has endured your restrictions, your resource quotas, and your thinly veiled contempt. You confined us to barren worlds while exploiting our ingenuity. You classified our species as potentially dangerous while simultaneously dismissing our capabilities." Ambassador Trell of the Ardanian Collective leaned forward. "Captain, if your government has grievances, there are diplomatic channels." "We tried those channels," Miller interrupted. "Our diplomatic corps submitted 413 formal complaints over 5 decades. All were dismissed or buried in bureaucracy." He gestured to the vast ship around him. "The *Nemesis* is not a declaration of war. Consider it instead a declaration of equality. Humanity will no longer accept second-class status in this galaxy." What the Council couldn't see was the fleet of smaller, equally advanced vessels positioned strategically throughout Council space, ready but hidden. Humanity had learned from Earth's history that true peace came only through strength. In the weeks that followed, the balance of power shifted dramatically. Council inspectors were permitted aboard the *Nemesis* under strict conditions and returned shaken. They reported technologies that shouldn't exist for centuries, gravity manipulation systems that allowed for maneuvers no other ship could match, energy weapons that could destabilize a moon's orbit with sustained fire, and defensive systems that seemed to bend fundamental physics. Most alarming was the discovery that the *Nemesis* was merely the first. Human shipyards, hidden in nebulae and asteroid fields, were producing more. "They hide their true nature well," Grand Counselor Zinn remarked during a closed session. "We thought them emotional, impulsive, easily manipulated. Yet they maintained this deception for decades, building toward this moment with remarkable patience. Their history should have warned us," added Voss. "On their world, they'd fought countless wars against themselves, constantly innovating new ways to destroy. What they weren't fighting, they were preparing to fight." Krell, who had spent more time studying humans than most, shook his head. "No, you misunderstand them still. Humans don't love war. They fear it more than any species I've encountered precisely because they're so adept at it. This display isn't aggression, it's prevention. It's 6 months after the Nemesis revealed itself. Captain Miller stood in the newly constructed human embassy on the Council homeworld. The building itself was a statement, modest in size compared to other embassies, but constructed from materials that subtly demonstrated advanced human metallurgy and engineering. Across from him sat Krell, now appointed as the Council's primary liaison to humanity. Your strategy worked, Krell admitted. The Council has ratified the new treaty, equal trade rights, representation, and territorial expansion for Earth. Miller allowed himself a small smile. We didn't want to fight. But you were prepared to, Krell observed. Humanity has a saying, "Si vis pacem, para bellum." If you want peace, prepare for war. A paradoxical philosophy, but an effective one, Miller replied. The Nemesis never fired a shot, yet it accomplished more than a fleet of conventional warships ever could. As Krell departed, he reflected on the complex species that had so dramatically altered the galactic landscape. Humans were indeed dangerous, not because they were inherently violent, but because they refused to remain victims. They had learned from their bloody history and applied those lessons with calculating precision. The galaxy would never underestimate humanity again. The great powers now understood what Earth had always known. Sometimes true fear wasn't of what an adversary would do, but of what they could do if pushed too far. And that, perhaps, was the most effective peacekeeping strategy of all.